What's going on, everybody? Spaceballs here. Welcome back to another Calibria Crystal Guardians video. And today we're going to be doing a champion guide on Razua. Guys, I was very excited yesterday. You guys know we did the summon session and then we did the converts and we got Asura. So I wanted to do a champion guide on him. Just remember, I've only had him for about 2 days, but this is going to be my personal thoughts on him. I've been running him everywhere. I've been using him everywhere. So we're going to do a champion guide on him. I'm going to go over his runes, his sets, where I think he's used best, and we're going to do a couple Leviathan runs with him because I think Leviathan is actually probably the best place for him. So with no further ado, guys, let's get into the video. So first up, we will go over his build, his runes, where I think he's best built, and all of that good stuff. Now, I'm going to start this off by saying, guys, he's actually not as good as I thought he was going to be. I thought this guy was going to be like triple S tier, and I was so excited to get him. But I'm honestly going to tell you that I don't think he's as good as I thought he was. I mean, I guess for Guild Wars and maybe Arena and stuff like that, he's going to be good for more PvP stuff, not so much PvE. Now, he does fit into the teams. I just switched him out for the Boxer, so I use the same team, except for putting the Boxer, I put him in there. And yes, he's doing okay, but I just feel like he would have been like, way up here and everybody else would have been way down here. So I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying he's not as good as I thought he was going to be. But he's still good, guys. He's still good. He's still a good gift, like, for completing your archives. I just don't think he's as good as I thought he was. So now, as you guys can see here, he's not. I just 6-starred him just now, right before the video. So I'm running him still at level 35. As you can see, 62 speed. His runes are not maxed yet at all. We got a ton of defense. We got nice HP. We got a little bit of attack. Crit rate, you don't have to worry about too much because the crit rate actually equals from his HP. So if you have enough HP, that's why I have an HP slot 6. He'll actually have close to 100% crit rate because he has a 30% crit rate instead of 15% crit rate. So if you run enough HP, he'll actually be close to the 100% anyways. So you could actually just stack crit damage. But for me, I wanted to make sure he was tanky enough. And I still don't have late game runes, so I wasn't too worried about stacking crit damage on him yet. But maybe in the future I will, and maybe he'll hit a little bit harder. So I'll think he's a little bit better. But again, he's not bad. He's just not what I thought he was. So since we're gonna do gameplay in this video, guys, I'm just gonna go over the skills that I'm using in this video, so we can get right into the gameplay for you guys. So the first one up is I'm using this one. While being attacked, 70% chance to reflect 100% of own defense in fixed damage, ignores defense, and recovers 6% of own HP. I felt like that fits him best for the dungeon runs, and it's probably going to be good for him on the PvP side of things too. So if somebody hits you, like let's say the Flame Spirit hits you, you're going to reflect 100% of that damage back to her, so it's probably going to kill her. If it doesn't kill you, it's most likely going to kill her too, so it'll end up killing the both of you. So that would probably be good for PvP and the dungeon runs because, those guys hit super, super hard. Even in like Vapor, Dreamland and all that stuff, they hit really hard. After like level 60, they start to one-shot you. So my hope with this one is when they hit me, they actually kill themselves. And if you have enough HP, you'll probably stay alive as well. And then I went with this one. Attack an enemy 3 times to deal 125% of attack and defense and damage. Crit rate is equivalent to current percent of HP. And that's what I was talking about with the crit rate. Crit damage is equivalent to current percentage of HP loss, so that actually boosts his crit damage as well. And to current percent of HP loss, if the skill deals critical damage, 40% chance to reduce target's defense for 2 turns. And now Spaceballs likes to have an extra defense break in his teams, so that's why I was switching him with the Boxer. So I went with his defense break skill. And now the first skill, attack an enemy to deal 225% of attack and defense and damage. Crit rate is equivalent to the current percent of HP. Crit damage is equivalent to the current percentage of HP loss. Same thing as the second skill. If this skill deals critical damage, 85%, chance to affect the target with HP regen locked for 2 turns. Normally, you're not going to care about that too much. This guy does pretty good damage, being that you don't have to really worry about stacking too much damage on him because of all this stuff in his kit. So you can really just worry about really stacking HP and defense on him. So it does make him super tanky, which does make him super viable. But normally, guys, if you're going to get him, that means you're finishing most of your archives to begin with. So it just comes a point where you're just going to have better options. Like, that's the way I feel about him. I'm not saying he's bad. I just feel like, except for Guild Wars, I'm always going to have a better option than him. Because I actually feel like the other guy we pulled, the Iron Heart, is actually better than him because he gives a shield and all that stuff. But we're not going to get into that now because this isn't an Ironheart guide. This is an Azuru guide, if I'm saying his name right. But you guys get it. So again, I just feel like there's always going to be better options. But again, I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying that there's probably always going to be a better option for him. And now the rune set, I went with a berserk set to get the most, damage out of him as possible. And then I also went with a counter set so he could proc his skill 1, and which is going to give him even more damage. So I would say berserk set would be the top one. Let's go over the rune sets real quick before we get into the gameplay. And the rune set, let's pull them up over here. So I would say blessing would be good on him because he needs HP and he needs a lot of defense. So definitely blessing and defense as the 2-piece set. And then I would say either agile and berserk being the top set, so agile and berserk. And then I would say counter is right there with that. Guard set, of course, because it's defense. And then if you were going to build him as a pure damage dealer, you can go with like maybe wild and attack. I really wouldn't put attack on this guy too much because he scales off of defense. So I'd probably stick to the defense sets and the berserk sets. So I'd probably go agile, defense, or blessing, berserk, or blessing, agile, something like that. But I would stick more to those sets. If you're using him in PvP, of course, you can go with like an immunity set or maybe a drain set. But he does have a built-in drain thing into his kit. So again, I would feel like agile, blessing, guard, and berserk and counter would be the best thing on Asura. Okay, so now that we went over all that, you guys see his stats now. What I have on him, again, these are just mediocre runes. These are not top tier runes. But let's get into some gameplay because I know you guys like to see the gameplay. That's how you build him. And now we will show you him in action. I'm just going to show you a couple runs of Leviathan because I feel like Leviathan is probably what people struggle with most in this game. So I did the same thing with what I did with the Boxer. I took my normal team. I took out the Boxer now, and now I put Asura in place of the Boxer. So what we have here is the same exact team we were using for the Boxer, except now we put Asura in the Boxer's place. And we'll see how that goes. Which I know how it goes because I ran it like 15 times already to make sure that it wasn't going to fail. But honestly, guys, he actually does pretty good. Like I said, I expected a little bit more out of him, but as I was like reading his kit and going over his stuff, I was realizing that he's probably more for like a damage team than a debuff team. But he does fit in this team well, guys. I'm not saying that he's terrible, and I'm not saying he's not usable. He definitely is because he's defense based, and this guy can take a hit, guys. He can take a hit. He's just like the Abyss Lord. He's defense based. He can take a serious hit. So when you're setting up like your Apex arena defense and your regular arena defense and your Guild War defense, he actually is really good for that because he's defense based, guys. So if you stack some resistance on him and he doesn't take a defense break, it's going to be a really, really hard to kill this guy, guys. You know what I mean? So I would say that he definitely has his places in the game. It's just I was expecting a little bit more out of him. I was definitely expecting a little bit more out of him, but that is okay. I still am so happy to have him, and I still wanted to do a champion guide on him next because you saw how happy I was yesterday to pull him. But he does do well in this particular team. He does well. I don't know how he's going to do in other teams. Maybe I just guess team synergy is where it's going to come down to it, guys. Team synergy. And remember, he's still not level 40 yet, but he still does, pretty much the same thing that he would do if he was level 40, just with a little bit less stats. But yeah, hope everybody's having a great week. A great week. I hope everybody had a great weekend going into a great week. Spaceballs did a couple purchases today. I want to upgrade my audio. That was next on my list. Did the camera. Now I got the camera perfect. So next on my list was audio. So I actually bought the Mini Go XLR, and I bought the Bluebird microphone. I'm hoping that after that, I'm hoping my setup is going to be good for a while. And then we just have to worry about like intros, outros, all that stuff. But that will come in the future. So that was our next upgrade. I hope you guys appreciate it because I do it all for you guys. So you guys can have top tier quality. Well, I want top tier quality too, but I know it's better for you guys, so you guys can see me beautiful. You can see my beautiful face. No, I'm only kidding. But again, you guys see he's doing great in the team. He's actually doing. Yesterday, I realized too that I didn't have the boss clicked when we were doing these runs. So they were actually hitting the towers a lot. So that probably had a lot to do with why the runs were getting so low. But I fixed that now on BlueStacks. But as you can see, we got all of our debuffs up. Everything is going good. He has got a ton of HP still, so he's hitting pretty hard. And just like the Boxer, he fits into the team just fine. But again, I just feel like there might be better options out there. But again, he does really good. I haven't failed. It's about a 2.5 minute run, which isn't bad at all, especially for Leviathan. He does work in Giants. He does work in Magic. He does the same thing in all of them. But I just mostly want to show you Leviathan because, again, Leviathan is probably one of the hardest dungeons for most new players to complete, or even most middle game players to complete on like on a steady basis. So again, he will fit on your debuff team perfectly. He does a good job. He's a solid monster. It's just you know, like I said, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but like I said, there is probably better options out there. But he looks really cool. I can tell you that. The guy looks really cool. I like his arms. I like the fire on his back. See, when you have him on a berserk set, you see how many times he just literally killed like two people because he just keeps taking turns. So I think either a lot of speed, like agile, or a berserk set is going to fit this guy best. Just for the fact that you want him taking a lot of turns because the way his kit is based, you want him just packing that damage in. You see, like there, you just want him packing that damage over and over again. So I'm definitely going to say berserk set being the #1 set for him, which berserk set probably is the #1 set for most monsters. The problem is getting the berserk set. So I would say right after that, I would go with Agile Guard or Agile Blessing. And if you go with Agile Blessing, I would say then do like double defense. So do slot 4 defense and slot 6 defense. If you go with Agile Guard, then you can go with slot 4 HP and slot 6 HP or something like that to make him equally tanky because he needs HP and defense. This guy thrives, you know, for HP and defense. He needs them both to be like really shine because the way his kit works. Because like I'm pretty sure the HP gives him crit rate and the defense gives him crit damage. So again, you want to scale those up as high as you can without actually having to put, you know, crit rate and crit damage in the actual skills. So I would say definitely stacking HP and defense on this guy would probably be key. So I would definitely go with Agile Blessing, Agile Guard, and Berserk Blessing or Berserk Guard. And then however you do it there, that's how you're going to synergize your slot 4 and your slot 6. But again, you can see he's doing great. Even though he gets the immunity up, I got my Druid, and now I switched my Abyss Lord to have a strip as well. Because I noticed yesterday that the immunity was kind of a little hard for the Druid to keep up with. He wasn't taking the immunity off as much as I wanted him to. So I actually switched my Abyss Lord. Somebody in the comments gave me some advice. So I switched my Abyss Lord to the strip, and now you see it's the immunity's never up anymore because between the two of them doing it now, we have enough debuffs up to kill this guy 1, 2, 3. And as you can see, Asura is taking a ton of turns again, and he is packing in some damage. Not as much damage as I would like to see, but again, my runes aren't that good, so I can't expect that much out of him quite yet. We will do one more run for you guys, just to show you that it is not a fluke, and he fits right in just as the Boxer did. He fits right into the team perfectly fine. We will do one more for you guys, and then we're going to wrap this one up. I'm actually on my way to work. I wanted to get this video for you guys because I promised you guys yesterday that I would get this video up for you today. I wanted to get this video up right away for you guys. Tonight, I'm going to be doing the grind part 6. I believe it's the grind part 6. I got a great video for you with that. So after I get home from work, I'll be home around 9 o'clock. I'll start doing the grind part 6. So that should be up by the morning time. So look out for that. I don't think we're going to be doing any summoning videos for a while because Baseballs has got a lot of stuff to build, guys. I'm building like so much stuff right now. My account has just got so many projects on it, and it's like I want to do so many things for you guys, and it's like I end up starting something and then I put it on the back burner, and then I start something else and I put that on the back burner. So now I got like so many things built and just put on the back burner that I have all my runes so spread out. I was actually thinking about doing in the grind part 6, maybe doing a whole re-rune for you guys, like de-runing all of my monsters and then re-runing them, or I could just do like a rune video for that. I haven't really decided how I want to do that quite yet, but I feel like I want to de-rune every single one of my monsters and then re-rune them, and I figured you guys would want to see that, so I'll definitely do that on a video for you guys. Because right now my runes are spread so thin, guys. I have runes all over the place. Like I have my berserk sets, like I have certain speed ones on this one and that one, and I should have them together, you know, to make the best sets possible, especially in this game because you don't have to pay to remove runes. So I should definitely have my best sets together and then just move that set onto the monster that I'm using at the time, because you don't have to pay to remove runes, guys. So you could actually have one really good viable set and then move that between whatever monster you're using at the time. I have to get used to that. I'm not used to that with the other games that I play, like between Raid and I used to play Summoning War. You guys know that. So I have to get used to being able to like make one really good set and just move that on to each one of my monsters as I use them. As you can see again, guys, this run is perfect. This is actually a perfect team for Leviathan, guys. If you have Abyss Lord, Druid, Medusa, but it doesn't have to be Medusa. You can replace Medusa with the Mummy, but the Mummy has to be tanky. You guys have to build him super tanky so he doesn't die. So you can replace Medusa with the Mummy, and you can replace Abyss Lord with any other poisoner as well, either the Hydra, or if you have a Nat 5 burn or poisoner, same thing, you could switch with that. So you do not need those 2 nat 5s, guys. You could switch them out, like I said, and this team actually works great. I can actually show you in the future if you want. I could show you just a 3-star team with like the Mummy and the Hydra and show you that this team still works just fine. But as you can see, that's Asura in all his glory. I think he did just fine. I was just expecting a little bit more out of him, guys. That's all. I was just expecting a little bit more. I feel like maybe the boxer would actually do a little bit better. And the only reason she didn't look like she was doing better yesterday is because I didn't have the boss auto picked yesterday. I did notice that today because I forgot to change it on my BlueStacks because I forgot it does not transfer from my phone to my BlueStacks. So we're going to pull him up one more time before we go, guys. That actually wasn't too bad. It was only 15 minutes. So I can do all this in one video for you guys. I would show you a guild war with him real quick, but I don't think I have it right now. Oh, we do have it. Yeah, but these are all just generic, so it's not even gonna matter. I'll show you what team I would put him on in my guild war though. So what I would do with him is I'd put him on a high defense team. So what I would do here is I would do my Asura as the lead because he's got a really high. That's one good thing about this guy, guys, is he's got a 50% defense lead in all battles, guys. That is an amazing, amazing leader skill, guys. And I'd put him on a defense team, so I'd put him with my Abyss Lord. I'd put him with my Popo. Now I could either put the Mummy, because he's defense based, or I could put my Destructive Idol, which I would usually put my Destructive Idol or my Shaman. So I'd put in something like this. Probably, I would think, yeah, we'll go with Shaman. Normally I think I would go with Destructive Idol just for the fact that he's defense based. No, he's tank based. So no, we'll go with Shaman actually here. You can either go Shaman, Mummy. It all depends whatever you have on your account. Again, you're obviously not going to have the same monsters as I do. So really just make sure you're synergizing defense. If you have a defensive lead, make sure you're using defensive monsters. As you can see here, this team is going to work great. It's probably going to be really hard for somebody to be able to beat this team. Like somebody to take this tower over. I wish there was somebody in this tower so I can show you guys how the team would actually work. But that's pretty much how I would do Guild Wars with him. And I think that's where he's going to shine most is in Guild Wars. So let's pull him up again so you guys can see him as we go. This is his stats, his overall stats. Again, remember his runes are not maxed. Only his slot 4 is maxed. His slot 6 and his slot 2 are not maxed yet. So these are his overall stats. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. That's the guide and gameplay on Asura. Again, I love him and I love to have him. I just feel like there might be better options sometimes for dungeon runs, but he does, as you guys saw, he does fit in the team very good. So if you have him, you can definitely use him because he looks super, super cool. But as always, guys, if you're not a part of the giveaway, make sure you go down to the description. You click the giveaway, you get a part of the giveaway. Same thing with the Discord. Our Discord community is growing rapidly. If you guys want to be a part of that, that is also in the description. I hope every single one of you are being happy, healthy, and safe out there. I know it's super hard times right now, and I know it's getting worse. So I wish you guys the best from the bottom of my heart. I love every single one of you. But I will see you guys in the next one. Spaceballs out. Peace.